episode of How to Run a Successful Business and Still Have a Life. My name is Stacey Morgan, and today's episode is brought to you by my Thrive Mastermind program. Thrive is a 6-month mastermind program for women in business, women who are ambitious, women who have big goals, and women who would like a little bit of accountability and help along the way. It runs for 6 months. We open the doors every March and we run April through to October. We are almost at graduation season for our current Thrive Masterminders. It's a combination of group coaching and one-on-one coaching, Thrive. And if you'd like to join us next year, we are putting names on our wait list right now. It's a really small group. It's quite intimate. So we don't usually take on more than 10 participants. But if you would like to join that wait list and make sure you are the first to hear about it when the doors open in March, then you can do that at simplystaceymorgan.com. I'm so excited to talk to you today because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is investing in your own professional development. And we're going to be talking specifically about live events. We're going to be talking all things PD for the next couple of episodes, but live events, and I say this and take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because so many of us have had so many live events just ripped out from under us in the last 2 years. And I really do understand that. And I really will be, drawing on experiences that I had that were pre-COVID, but also talking through a couple of experiences I've had during the pandemic when it comes to live events. So please know that I'm not, if you're in a situation right now where there's not much that you can do and not many live events that you can go to, please know that this episode is not having a go at you. But I do think that professional development is important. And so I did want to talk about it, but I really hope that I'm not rubbing salt in the wound when it comes to your PD and your live events when we talk about all things live, because I do hope that before too long we are able to recommence going to live events and seeing people and, really getting stuck into some good learning in a group setting. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So when it comes to professional development, I should start by saying I spend way too much money on professional development. My professional development budget grows every single year. In fact, I had to write down my goals and my life goals a couple of years ago. And the thing that I wrote was, I would like to be paid to learn. Wouldn't that be great? And, in some ways I am. In some ways I'm really lucky in that the business that I run enables me to have a pretty hefty professional development budget. And so there's lots of ways in which I use my time and use my energy and use my money to be learning and to be doing professional development. But I'm also lucky that, in my role as a speaker, I do get to go to a lot of events. And part of going to events is not just that I get to present and share my knowledge with other people, but I also get to sit back and take on all of the learning that happens at the event as well. So I'm in a pretty lucky position. But if you would like to add some more professional development to your budget and to your life, then, stick with me, because I have lots to say about professional development. And if you don't already subscribe to Miss Bossy Boots, Jane and I like to talk a lot about professional development there as well, because Jane is just as much of a professional development junkie as I am. And so talking about live events today, so many times we have the opportunity where we live to join our local business chamber or to, join a network that might be, just around the corner and, in your town, something that you can go to all the time. But the thought of going to live events for some people is really hard. And what I'd like to say to you today in terms of live events is that there are so many great takeaways that can come with connecting with people in your local area and connecting with people face to face that you just can't get on an online platform. You just can't get from an email and from connecting with people on social media. That live element is so incredibly important. So when you're putting together your list of things that you would like to do in the coming year, when it comes to your own professional development, I really encourage you, where possible, to make sure that live events are part of that experience. And these live events could be, a breakfast that goes for an hour and a half that happens at the start of the day. Those breakfasts that are part of, networking events and chamber events that I often put my name down for. And then the alarm goes off in the morning and I think, what on earth was I thinking, having to get up and do my hair and put a face on and get to one of these events really early in the morning. This is crazy, but never once have I got to the end of one of those events and thought that was not worthwhile, because once you're up and once, you're going and you walk into that room with lots of other people, you really do understand the importance of taking the time and investing in that time and investing all the energy that it takes to make sure that, the kids' lunches are done already the night before and you've got organized somebody to take them to school, and all of that is sorted so that you can get to an event like that. quite often we think, oh, that seems very early in the morning and a lot of effort. But those one-off events that, go for a short period of time and often have a guest speaker or a theme that everybody is going to be talking about can be so important, because standing in front of somebody, making that connection with somebody, finding out what other people do, finding out who is working around you, forming networks with other people can be so valuable in running your own business. But not only that, if you live in a small town like I do, meeting people and understanding what they do and what they are bringing to your local economy and what they are bringing to your town, that kind of networking goes a really long way. It's so lovely to be able to have a community of people around you, a community of people who are also running their own business. Especially in times of need and in times of challenge, it's so lovely to have people around you that understand the experience that you're going through. And so making the effort to go to live events where there will be like-minded people and there will be other people who are sharing that experience with you, where they're going to be there, they're going to be able to share their challenges, you're going to be able to celebrate their wins, you're going to be able to meet new people, bring new people into the circle, form those networks. It is so incredibly important. But when it comes to taking time to do things out of town, of course, there's nothing that I love more than being able to head away for a day of professional development. And often, those days, it's not just the actual day itself, it's the anticipation of going to the event. It's the pre-reading, it's the booking the ticket and the booking the travel and what is going to be based around that, who else is going to be going, who you're going to be able to connect with. Being able to step into a live event that is outside of your normal comfort zone, that is outside of your normal realm of what you would normally do. You're not waking up in the same bed and putting on the same outfit and having to worry about the school drop off and everything that else, all the other pieces of the puzzle that happen around you. You can actually take yourself into a completely different place, both mentally and physically. So I find that so much comes out of those one-day events. And while it might take a lot of organization to be able to get yourself, to another place, you might have to catch a flight or go the night before or do a long drive or get up really early. I really find that taking yourself out of your normal comfort zone and out of your normal realm of work, where you can switch off your phone and actually really immerse yourself in the content that is being shared, is so incredibly valuable for yourself personally in terms of your own personal development, but is also really great in terms of your professional development. I know that so many people are putting on different events at this particular point in time, whether that be virtually or live. There are so many different offers out there, and sometimes it can be a little bit like, shiny ball syndrome. You can go, oh, look at that shiny thing over there. I might go and do that. Oh, there's another shiny thing over there. So I really want to encourage you when it comes to your professional development to try and find events and try and choose courses and things to go to that are going to be really well aligned with what you want to achieve. And, we talk a lot about goal setting, and we talk about making sure that your goals are actionable, that you've got action plans in place. And it's really important to align your professional development with those goals and with those actions. So, for example, if this year you have, part of your goals is you're going to revamp your website, you're going to really get on top of your social media, you're going to make a really good marketing plan for your business, and you're going to execute on that marketing, and be then following up the analytics and making sure that you know exactly how people are finding you and where they're finding you, then it's really important not to then get distracted and think that you see a course or you see an ad for something that is completely different for, innovation and starting a brand new product. And then you all of a sudden shift and your entire focus is going in that direction instead of sticking with where your goals and hopes are. It's really easy to do. I do it all the time, or at least I think about doing it all the time. I will see an ad for an event and go, oh, I'd love to do that. I love those speakers. I love, the organization that's running it. It's being held in Canberra. Well, I love Canberra. Of course I want to go. I've got friends in Canberra I can catch up with. You get kind of roped into that mindset and you get excited, and it's that adrenaline that kind of pushes you into making those decisions. And of course, I'd started this episode by telling you that my professional development budget is out of control, and this is the reason why. But please take some learning from me. And then in the last couple of years, I've tried to be really specific about the money that I spend on professional development and making sure that money is being spent in alignment with what I'm actually trying to achieve at the time. So finding a course that is on, Instagram Reels, or finding a day that's going to be talking you through your brand strategy for your marketing is going to be a better use of your time if that is your focus for this year, or if that is your focus for this quarter, then jumping on the innovation train and going in a completely different direction and growing your business in a different way. I know that I clicked on an ad the other day for a master's in leadership. I thought that looks interesting. And of course it said, you could do it part-time and be done in 16 months. And I was like, well, yes, that sounds right up my alley. In that moment of adrenaline, completely forgetting that I have 3 children and 3 businesses and I'm already stretched, and thinking, yes, I could do my master's in leadership. That would be perfectly wonderful. And I just clicked on that one ad, and I haven't had any discussions about it around my phone or anything like that. But from just that one click, the amount of master's material I'm being served up currently in terms of the ad platforms is just outrageous. I could be doing a master's in all sorts of things. They're trying to pique my interest in all sorts of areas. But as much as I would love to dive into something that intensive in terms of my learning, I am very aware that I need to stay focused on the things that are on my goals and on my plan list. And that's not a master's currently in leadership. So please, try not to be distracted when it comes to bright, shiny objects like that, and try and make sure that whatever you do, you know where you are going, and you figure out who are the people and who are the people that are running events that are in that space that are really going to help connect you to other great people in that space, but also to connect you to the best possible information and knowledge so that you can really help yourself achieve those goals. But where possible, anytime that you have the option to be able to attend live, especially if it means that you have to get outside of your comfort zone, if it means that you have to step outside of yourself and go to a different place and get dressed up and eat breakfast somewhere fancy, then please do it, because taking the time out, investing in yourself and investing in your business, and doing that in a way that can be really immersive, so that if you're in a different place, you're not going to be distracted by day-to-day life. You get to actually spend that time, whether that's just at a breakfast or it's a one-day event that's out of town, or even if it's a one-day event that's in town, but you get to turn off your phone and actually really get into that moment and really take on that knowledge and try and apply it to your business in the moment can be so useful. And, so many people are afraid of spending money when it comes to professional development, but, well, not me, but some people are. And I encourage you to really see it as an investment, because investing in yourself and investing in professional development is one of the things that can skyrocket your business faster than anything else. People ask me all the time, my business is ready for growth. What do I do? How can I grow it from where it is? We're really comfortable at this particular point in time. And my biggest point of advice is, start working on yourself, because when you start learning yourself and doing professional development yourself, and you start improving, your business will start to grow. There's, such a fine correlation, such a strong correlation between those two things. So if it's time for you, if you haven't done a lot of PD in the last little while, and it's time as you're heading towards the end of the year for you to upskill and to learn new things in order to set yourself up really well for 2022, then I really encourage you to do that. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people is so incredibly important. And I'm lucky that I have a fabulous group of like-minded women in my Thrive Mastermind program. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Thrive. Thrive is a combination of one-on-one coaching and group coaching. And we are opening the doors for the 2022 version of Thrive next March. If you'd like to be on the wait list, then I encourage you to make sure that you get your name down, and make sure you do it now. Go to simplystacymorgan.com. I hope you are enjoying these episodes, and I really hope that if you have a business bestie who also likes professional development, then you will share this episode with them, or perhaps somebody who is new to business, running their own business, and perhaps feeling a little bit stuck. If you'd like to share the episode and make sure that they subscribe to the podcast, that would be great as well. If you haven't already left us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, please make sure you do. And if you don't follow me, you can do that on Instagram at Simply Stacey Morgan. I would love to hear your takeaways and love to hear what professional development you are going to be investing in the next little while. Today, we talked about live events, things that we can go to that take maybe a breakfast, maybe 2 hours, a lunch, a one-day event that, takes one day out of our world. Next week's episode, we're going to be talking about those bigger professional development events that perhaps take a little bit more time and a little bit more investment, and what you can get out of those. So in the spirit of all things PD, we're going to be talking about that for the next little while. And I really do hope you can join me. Talk to you soon.